This section demonstrates how cattle can be moved simply by the position of the handlers relative to the livestock. It demonstrates many of the principles of moving cattle, whether it is in a small or a large paddock, or even in a set of cattle yards. In this demonstration, 3 handlers move a small number of cattle through an obstacle course of 2 drums. The demonstration is used by successful teachers of cattle handling, such as Temple Grandin in the United States. It is known as the T principle and effectively allows the patient handler to move his cattle anywhere. The cattle are being walked around 2 drums in a figure of 8 pattern. It is only the position of the handler that creates the desired movement. The handlers do not shout, jump up and down, nor move their arms to encourage movement, but rather position themselves in the right place. Having had some previous handling and being of a quiet disposition, these cattle have a small flight zone, which lessened as the demonstration went on. However, it is still the principles of pressure and release that guides the cattle. The 3 handlers form the top of the T shape, the cattle the stem of the T. The handlers stay in a straight line, with the centre handler producing forward movement by remaining just inside the mob's flight zone. The outside handlers stay on the edge of the flight zone and only enter it to create sideways movement, effectively steering the cattle. The handlers do not surround the cattle, but stay out wide, steering the lead animal. The other cattle show a natural following behaviour, assisted to keep moving by the centre handler. As the cattle approach the drum, they are allowed to go left around it. The near handler releases all pressure, while the far handler increases the pressure on the leader. The handlers carefully watch the lead animal and maintain their straight line. As the cattle come around, pressure is released on the far side and put on the near side, again only by the handler's position. The cattle are allowed to think they're moving where they want. To allow the cattle to move clockwise around the red drum, the near side handler now moves into the flight zone of the leader, while the offside handler releases all pressure, effectively moving well outside the flight zone on the right side of that leader. The centre handler continues to promote forward movement. The cattle respond naturally to the pressure and release, and they turn clockwise around the drum. As the cattle turn around the blue drum, their reactions show that they are responding well to the handler's position and attitude. After only a short time, these cattle demonstrate that if they respond correctly by changing their direction of movement, the pressure from the handler will be released. The T principle shows how entering and leaving the animal's flight zone controls the direction of movement. The pressure applied to the animal encourages certain rewarded movement, rather than forcing it to react in a certain way.